Backstage with Adam Duritz at Chastain.
Was there any pressure after the first record to hurry up and make another record? Were you able to do it when you wanted to do it?
Oh, the record company knew us pretty well by then that it wasn't. We don't really respond very well to being told what to do.
Well, they keep squeezing singles out of one of your albums for about 3 years.
But,
so
we stopped. It wasn't the company at all because we stopped. We stopped making videos. We stopped really. We never released any singles.
I think radio just loved the record so much, and we heard all the reports about Adam Duritz's bartending, down at the Troubadour,
was that true?
Or
Viper.
The Viper Room.
Yeah, was that true?
Was that true?
Yeah,
we actually tried to call.
Well, I mean, kind of what happened was that those are the guys that kind of got me to move down to LA. Some people that I'd met there that were friends of mine, because I was kind of miserable up at home. It was really a circus for me in Berkeley. It's just I was so much a freak there, and so I don't know, I couldn't go anywhere, and it was really bad.
And it's hard to be a freak in Berkeley. Yeah. I mean, you've really got it. That's saying something.
I needed a place where people didn't care that I was there, and they talked me into moving down to LA, and I used to hang out there every night. So one of the times my friend said, "Hey, come over here." I was hanging out behind the bar anyways because there was more room over there, and I just started serving drinks and working the cash register.
There it was.
What was your biggest night in tips?
Oh, I made huge tips for those.
Big money.
I didn't keep the tips, but I got such good tips for those.
Bartending is fun. I love that.
Yeah, it was a good way to spend the night. I was with my friends anyways every night, and they really keep an eye on me there. They don't, I'm very good friends with two 400-pound bouncers there.
There you go.
What were some other jobs that you had before you were able to make a living doing this?
I was a landscaper.
Oh, there's an easy gig.
In the morning, very early. And
very nice.
Things. I like planning things. That was fun, though. I did construction and sort of contracting work. I was a dishwasher. I worked in a video store. I've been fired from some of the most wonderful jobs.
Can you clear up a couple rumors? I hate to ask you about these, but they've been in the press. They've been everywhere. Just curious about which were real and which weren't, as far as who you've dated in the last couple of years. Like the whole Jennifer Aniston thing, the Courtney Cox thing. I mean, I'd be remiss in not asking. I mean, is that true? Is that a lie, or do you just not want to answer it?
I'd be remiss in answering. I think that, you can lose your anonymity, but your privacy is your own. And I don't want my life to become a tabloid story, and that dating thing is...
It's everywhere.
But that's them making it everywhere. I don't really mind it. I don't mind the question.
I was just curious if they were making it up. If it was you walked out at the same time as Jennifer Aniston, that photo becomes, they're dating.
I'll tell you this, they have no problem making things up.
Oh, yeah.
They make huge amounts of it up.
Sure.
It's very fictional, those things.
They just happen to get a picture of two people, and they can make it any story they want to make it.
They do it. I mean, I'm not talking about what's my life and what's not, but they make stuff up. They make it up. They have no problems about it. They write stories about stuff they know nothing about. It's completely fictional.
Does any of it really make you angry, or are you kind of over the anger part?
I've been on a date with a girl and had a guy stand in front of me with a video camera 6 inches from her face saying, I'm going to take her home, I can't say it on the air probably, but is there a delay on here?
You say whatever you want to say.
Are you going to take her home?
We'll deal with it later.
And suggesting what I was going to be doing with her when I got home, because he wants to start a fight. I'm trying to kiss a girl goodnight and say goodbye to someone at their car, and it's, I believe in our Constitution. I think is there to protect people, and freedom of the press is a very important part of that. Part of having a Constitution and a Bill of Rights is that you spend most of your time trying to deal with what it was actually not meant to protect, but you can't legislate against that without cutting everything else out. Now, I don't think that the freedom of the press was meant to justify that guy with a thing in my face, but what are you going to do?
They want to fight, man. They get a fight out of you. They've got a story
then. They can turn around and sue you.
Well, I won't make their $3 videotape worth $30,000, you know what I mean? Which is worth it, they can sell it if I hit the guy.
Just keep walking.
You can do, but it's I find that inhuman.
Well, I'm just going to go on believing all that stuff because you're my hero, man.
We interviewed not go with McCartney, and he said that when the Beatles were together, they used to have contests among the band members to get erroneous, most bizarre rumor planted in the press. They used to have bets with each other, who could get the weirdest.
Who planted Paul is Dead?
He said, I think he said George.
Once the Paul is Dead started, they actually elaborated on the whole scheme.
They played into it. I mean, have you ever looked at a tabloid thing and it is just so bizarre, it made you laugh that you could share?
The only thing about it is that I live a fairly private life. I try not to do a lot of things out there that are going to get me taking pictures of. Once that initial burst happened, because I didn't realize it was going to happen when it first happened. The only thing that makes it never really funny is that if they decide that you are a news item, they'll camp outside your house. They'll follow you everywhere you go.
That would freak me out.
With that video camera every night. Now, that didn't happen to me that many nights, but it happened enough that I think it's horrible. So the only thing that makes it never funny is the possibility of somebody living in front of your house. Like, I have friends.
God, that is annoying.
Like Sean Penn, Sean's a good friend of mine, and I know why he punched that guy. Because they deserve to get punched.
They were just in his face constantly.
Situation, if it wasn't a rock star or a basketball star or whoever it is, anyone would hit these kind of people because they deserve it. And yet he gets a reputation as a bad kind of guy, but he's just like defending himself or his wife or his, it's human.
Is he still living in that trailer, that Airstream trailer?
No.
He's married now. I think he has a house.
He moved on.
But he was for a while, wasn't he?
His house burned down.
Yeah, and he for a long time was in like a trailer on a mountain or something.
I don't think he was going to stay there forever.
It was beautiful there.
Has anything ever gotten out, or did someone show up with anything, or people they dig people out of your past? Anything like that ever happen as far as the tabloids and the TV shows? Like they go back to your hometown searching for the story.
Kind of like that. You remember that terrible expose that Rolling Stone did on Eddie Vedder, which I thought was totally unfair.
Oh yeah, they hit San Diego.
Out every person he went to high school with, and just because Eddie wouldn't do the interview.
It's a circus.
Well, my sister, when Rolling Stone did the cover story on us years ago, the guy asked me, what did you listen to when you were a kid? And I said, I grew up in Oakland, so I listened to a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire and Parliament, Funkadelic, Commodores. That's what I remember listening to when I was a kid. Well, I also had the Barry Manilow live album. I wasn't thinking about that because it's not central.
Now you're talking our story. Barry Manilow came into the studio 2 weeks ago and joined us and played piano with us. Played live on the air with us. It was great.
He's a nice guy, actually.
When Rolling Stone wanted to they were talking about how there's such a family surrounding this band and everyone's really close, and they wanted to interview my family for it. And so I said, okay. And they interviewed my sister, and I talked to her at that, and said, what did you say? And she said, oh, I told them the funniest stuff. I told them about when we were kids, you used to listen to Barry Manilow. You have to listen when you were a kid. I told them you listened to Barry Manilow, and I said, immediately recognized that what they were going to do with that.
Of course.
I said, oh, Nicole, you idiot. Do you know that? And she said, what? And I said, it's going to be in the article now, and it's going to make me look like an idiot. How could you say that? And she said, oh, it'll never be in the article. I'm like, you didn't know anything about this. I guarantee you. So the article comes out, and it says, when asked what his musical influences were, Duritz remembers listening to Parliament, Funkadelic, the Commodores. His sister remembers his Barry Manilow album.
Right.
Oh, that's who you want to talk. Your sister answering questions about you.
Adam, my friend, my brother, hold your head up high and be proud.
He was a nice guy, but I think it stops there.
With the Barry Manilow, I bought it. I have 1 million albums. I'm happy with all of them. I've got my ABBA albums too.
There you go.
But I had them.
What was the first record you ever bought?
I've been trying to figure this out. I can't remember. It's either Got to Be There, the first Michael Jackson solo album when he's 9. Or it's one of the other Jackson 5 records. That's the first concert I ever saw too. When I was a little kid, I went to see the Jackson 5.
And what was your first concert going to Jackson 5? What was that like?
I don't remember. I know I was there. It was at the Grand National Rodeo in El Paso or Houston, and
was the first concert you remember going to?
I remember the concert. I just don't remember anything about it. I know I went. It's like a vague childhood memory.
Yeah.
But whenever we pull out the first concert stories, I always win because nobody saw the Jackson 5.
I'm Van Halen and Black Sabbath, baby.
I went to ELO years after that, and I saw Sammy Hagar.
The whole red.
Yeah, he opened for Boston.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a little kid then too.
Concert memories.
I was 12 at the Oakland Coliseum, and everyone around me was getting high, and then I was
Boston.
Naturally high too because you can't do anything about it in those crowds. I was 12. I remember seeing Boston and Sammy Hagar and just being completely what's happening to me?
Adam, we appreciate you taking the time to hang with us.
No problem.